My name is Norm Cairns. I wrote this book, Mistakes, Misstatements, Lies, and Other Miscommunication Tactics. It's for sale on various sites. This is a short video on interrogation and lies, which is relevant to the subject matter of the book. The main protagonist in the book is frequently engaged in various forms of interrogation. What is interrogation? It simply means trying to get information from another person while giving that person as little information as possible. What do I know about interrogation? I was a journalist, a civil rights attorney, a federal prosecutor, and a private investigator. I am a certified forensic interviewer and an LSI, or Laboratory for Scientific Interrogation, Advanced Scan Analyst. What does interrogation look like? That vastly depends on the situation and power structure between the interrogator and the subject. For example, the Russian KGB did not commonly torture people, but the KGB had time on its side. Each day the prisoner would be brought to the interrogation room, where he would be seated at a small desk across from the interrogator. His guards were instructed to never speak to him. We, as humans, have a desperate need to communicate with other people. That desire is so strong that eventually many people will talk with anyone, even the interrogator. Once the conversation has begun, it's only a matter of time before the interrogator gets what he or she wants. This is a short video, so we really only have time to discuss lies. There are generally three varieties of lies, varying in sophistication. The first type, and the easiest to detect, is the fabrication. A fabrication is something that someone made up. A memory will look like an orderly set of blocks. Now, there may be some missing due to a failure of memory, but the overall order will look like a stack of blocks, whereas a fabrication will look like a pile of blocks and will be missing many more blocks because the fabricator is having to make up half of the details contemporaneously with the interview. It is the details where the fabricator will fall apart. For example, if I ask, "Was the car red?" and he responds, "Yes," I might say, "Well, a minute ago you said it was orange." The second type of liar is the memory weaver. This takes a lot more skill than a fabrication. A memory weaver will take a real memory from his or her life and modify it to a different situation. This makes the lie harder to detect because part of the memory is real. But think about it this way. If I poured food dye onto a watermelon and asked you to pull out just the dyed part with your hand and not pull out any of the undyed watermelon, you wouldn't be able to do it. That is like pulling memories from the past. Some pieces just don't fit. For example, how many times a day do you open a door or turn on the lights to a room? But would you mention that in a statement about a recent event? No. That may be part of an older memory. If the statement contains a lot of extraneous and seemingly irrelevant information, you may be dealing with a memory weaver. The last liar can be the most effective because he or she doesn't lie at all. They just don't tell you everything. The omitter. For example, this is a mostly true vignette from the book. I was questioning a bank robbery suspect. I asked, "So what did you do when you left work?" He responds, "I picked up groceries, got my kid from daycare, and drove home." I asked, "Did you rob the bank on the way home?" He responds, "I don't remember robbing the bank." I say, "Let me refresh your memory with this photo. That is you making an unscheduled withdrawal using a revolver, is it not?" He says, "I might have stopped by the bank." I ask, "Where was your kid?" "Oh, he was in his car seat while I'm running errands. I kind of think of him as my little getaway driver." He smiled. One trick to detecting an omitter is missing time. For example, if it took 5 hours for for the bank robber to get his son some groceries and drive home, he may have left something out that was important. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video on interrogation and lies.